Hi, so I got a question on my TikTok from one of my followers, and she asked what can she do because she has a shop and her shop is currently very cluttered. She has over 20 products, and her products are divided into two categories: a print on demand set of products, and then she also sells books. So she's wanting to know how to create a full shop on Showit without every item being on the same page, and pretty much just how to keep it from being so cluttered. So, this tutorial is going to be my answer to that. Now, let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. What we're looking at now currently is just a home page. And then here is my mock shop. It only has 3 products, but just envision that it actually has over 20 products, and this looks really cluttered. Okay, so what I would do is go to blank page, click on it. You can see this is a blank page. We're going to click on it and duplicate this page. Then we're going to go ahead and rename the duplicated page My Product Offerings. And this will be the page that'll link to the various shops. So we'll go ahead and move that above the shop page right under home. And then in my mind, I'll have that I want this page to be split in two. So I'm going to go down here and then I'm going to select line. And then I'm going to take this line on desktop and I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. Now the line is up and down. I'm going to go ahead and extend it. And then for the mobile side, I actually want the line to stay the way it is, but I'm just going to extend it so that it cuts off half the page or half the canvas. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and add a title. And this, we're going to call this print on demand products. And I can already tell it looks a bit big. So we're going to reduce the font size. Go to textile and then just reduce it to the size you like. And I'm also going to center it. This works for me. I'm going to tighten it up and I'm just going to move it in place. Now keep in mind when you do one thing on desktop, you have to do that same thing on mobile. So I'm just going over here and doing the same thing. Straightening it up, reducing the size of the text so that it can all fit in there. And then I'm also going to tighten it up as well. Next thing I'm going to do is add a paragraph. And this paragraph is just going to just kind of describe this area. So you can just kind of write what you want on here. I can't remember what I wrote, but looks like I wrote, we offer a variety of print on demand products. Oh, of beautiful print on demand products. So you're just going to type out whatever you want to have in this area. And then once you do that, you can begin to line it up. So we offer a variety of beautiful print on demand products to spice up your home and your life. Shop our extensive collection of beautifully crafted items for every occasion. Line it up. And then don't forget to go do the same thing on the desktop, on the mobile side. And I like to work on desktop and mobile at the same time because it's a better workflow. And then I'm going to go and align these to the canvas on the mobile side. And then I'm going to align them to the group on the desktop side. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to extend on the mobile side. I'm going to go ahead and extend the canvas area. And then I'm going to move down the line to give me some space. You don't want your stuff to look too crowded. So now it's time to add a button. I'm going to select rectangle. Now we're going to size it down to a good size button. I think this is about a good size. Now we can go ahead and pick our color. I'm going to select this bluish color. And then I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to click mobile. Click OK. And then I'm going to click mobile. And then I'm going to just paste that same color in mobile, because I want them to be the same color on both desktop and mobile. But if you do want a different color on mobile, you can do that. Okay, after that, we'll get it sized up. I'm going to add a drop shadow effect. I really like the way it looks. It just makes the buttons pop. So I'll do it on desktop, and I'll also do it on mobile. And I selected the outer drop shadow for those. Then I also want to add a border. I like the way borders look. So I'm going to do a 1-point border in black for both the desktop and the mobile. And I just like the way the border looked. You don't have to use one, but I like it. Then I'm going to add a paragraph, and this is going to be our button text. And I'm going to put shop our products, or shop POD, shop POD collection. So once you type out your button name, you're going to go ahead and you're going to extend it a little bit. So I put it on here on top of the button, but then I found it kind of hard to drag it and maneuver it, so I just undid it. You just click undo and it pops it back over here, and then I can adjust it better. For some reason, when you start placing text on stuff, you kind of find that it's kind of hard to move the side and everything. So now I'm just increasing the font size, and I'm also going to change this to an Arial bold, because I do want a bold font for this. So now that I got that sorted out, now I can place it on top of my button. And I'm going to change the text to white. Now I'm going to go and do the same thing on the mobile side. Click it, drag it out. Go ahead and increase the font, or change the font to bold, and then increase the point size. And then if the font adjusts where it looks like it's going to be on 2 lines, just make sure you go ahead and, extend it out. Then I'm going to change it to white. So now we have our button. So I'm going to center this to the canvas, align it to the canvas, and then I'm going to go ahead and adjust it so that it can look like it's centered to the actual button. Okay, so I'm going to select all this because I want to make the same one on the other side. And I'm going to click Control C. So you select, hit Control C, and then you hit Control V. And this will allow you to make a copy of everything you just highlighted. And then we can drag it over. So let's go ahead and do that. Just going to click it, and then I'm going to drag it over. There you go. And you can just line it up. The 2 lines at the bottom and top shows you that it's aligned correctly. So now I'm going to change this because she did say that she had books. She sold print on demand products and she sold books. Oh, well, while that's selected, I'm going to go ahead and go to mobile, and I'm going to just drag that down because it's already selected and highlighted, when I click on mobile, I can just drag it down and it won't cause any issues. So now I'm going to change this to reflect the fact that she's selling books on this side. And you can change the text here. It's not really necessary, but this is kind of my process, so I'm just changing a couple things in this paragraph just to reflect books. Okay, and while I clean that up, you can be changing yours as well if you want to. And then after this is done, beautifully crafted books that will take you on a trip. And we're just going to extend this out so that it can be beautifully lined up on 3 sentences. Then we're going to change the button text, and it's going to say shop our books. Okay, and this is actually not centered, so let's go ahead and center this text. Okay, that's better. And I'm going to center this button. I'm going to go through and center all the button text. Okay, so now we're good to go. Now that we got all these together, you can leave it like this if you want to. I'm going to pizzazz it up and add an image in the background. So I'm going to click on image and I'm going to select the image I like. I want something with a lot of white space. So I'm going to select this. Then I'm going to just stick it on one side and I'm going to drag it down to cover that whole space. I think I got confused there for a moment. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cover this entire space. And when I cover it, you will see that the image is actually on top. And then I'll go up here to mobile and I'm going to do the same thing. So the image is on top of all these words. You can't see anything. And that's when you're going to go ahead and go over to the page. So we're on product offerings. Then I'm going to click page. And then you're going to see this graphic. I'm going to drop it way down below this line. So it's going to be the end. And then that'll set the image to the back. So I think that looks pretty cute, but it's kind of, the text is kind of in the way. So I'm going to drag the image out just a little so that the text is more readable. Now I'm going to select another image for the other side of the background. And I'm looking for something that has white space, but there's not much, but there's this book type, notebook type of image. So I'm going to click on that one. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Go ahead and add to page. And then it pops up here and we're just going to repeat the same steps. And then before I drag it over, I'm actually going to line it up on the mobile. That way you don't have to try to be figuring out stuff. Now I'm going to take that graphic and I'm going to drop it all the way down below line, but above the other graphic, because the other graphic did kind of bleed over onto our other side. So now we have this, and this is what it looks like. You can actually, I mean, this is just an example, but you can use images that are gonna showcase your information in the back a little better, but I'm trying not to make this video too long. So I think I'm just gonna leave this image here and we're just gonna work with what we have. So anyways, now you have 2 things And now I'm just going to go and center all the header fonts, title fonts. So now that we have this, I want to connect the print on demand button with a shop. So I'm going to click on the print on demand, and then I'm going to click on click actions, and then I'm going to click page. And then with that, I'm going to click on shop because I want it linked to this shop. But now that I think about it, it'll probably be easier to have a shop for book and a shop for print on demand. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the shop. And when I duplicate the shop, I'll go ahead and rename it. I put shop too, but I'm actually going to rename it shop POD for one, and then shop books for the other, so that I know that one shop has my print on demand products and the other shop is going to have my book products. So you're going to see me go through and change it. For one, it just makes it easier. And then this is going to say shop POD for print on demand. So now we can start linking. So we go to page, we click on click actions, then we click on type as page, and then we click on the page as shop POD. And then we're going to do the same for the other side. Click on the type as page, and then the page as shop books. Okay. And now just so I can make sure this takes, easily, I'm going to go ahead and just delete on one of the pages, one of the items, so that we know that when we click on it, it'll go to that page. And we're going to put shop books here. And then for the print on demand, we have that here. We can just change to shop our POD or shop POD. So now we're waiting for this to save. Okay, now let's do a preview. So we're going to click this, do a preview. And when we click on shop POD, it should go ahead and take us to, yay, it took us to the page. So this is our shop print on demand products. And I didn't connect my menu, so I couldn't go back. So I had to go back in the browser. Now let's click shop our books. And that should take us to the books page. So now we have a nice looking setup here. And that's what I would do in order to keep my shop from being cluttered.